7 insane Gary Payton trash talking stories. There's always a few names that we think of when we talk about trash talking in the NBA. It's normally Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, or Gary Payton. I've made videos on Larry Bird and MJ, but I've never made one on GP, and I thought, why not combine 7 of his greatest stories in one video, so here it is. While MJ and Bird talked a lot, none of them took it as far as Gary Payton, who some might argue took it too far, and you'll see what I mean after watching this video. Even some of Gary Payton's teammates were sometimes overwhelmed by what Gary would say. Michael Cage, who played with Payton in Seattle, once said on playing with Payton, "You just want to go find a library or something. Some place totally quiet just because of how much Payton would talk. He would just talk like random shit because that's what he felt like doing." Gary Payton also revealed in an interview that there is no line when it comes to trash talking. In his own words, he said this: "You can hate me on the basketball court, but I will say sorry to you afterwards. If I knew something about a person's mother, his sister, if he had just got a drunk driving charge, I would go at that situation. It might be cruel to some people, but I would go at it."
Right. Because I want somebody to say, your wife this and that and that. Well, your wife too.
Right. Right.
Your wife too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how I was gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get down, I'm gonna get down with you. You say something about me, I'm going back at your head.
Now, I'm all for trash talking. I love it. I think it's what makes the game great. Although, we don't really see much of trash talking anymore, especially compared to what it used to be. Payton attacked their personal life, and that is just savage. Anyway, let's just get on and talk about 7 of Gary Payton's best trash talking moments. Number 7. Gary Payton vs Michael Jordan. Now, this isn't number 7, but it's because it's number 7 and 6 together. MJ and Payton frequently got into it on the court, 2 of the greatest trash talkers of all time. What else would you expect? But if you do a Google image search for Gary Payton, and one of the earliest and most frequent pictures you'll see is of him jawing at Michael Jordan in the middle of the 1996 NBA Finals, which is actually what the thumbnail of this video is. It looks like Payton is about to drop an F-bomb, and according to his recollections, that is probably a safe bet. According to Gary Payton, it was a lot of everything, Payton said. A lot of shit, fuck you, and then Ron Harper got into it, Scottie Pippen got into it, Phil Jackson got into it. We were going back and forth with the fuck yous. This is just funny. This is just funny in my opinion, and it wasn't even like normal trash talk. It was just players and coaches saying fuck you to each other, and yeah, that sounds like Gary Payton. Number 6. After being drafted in the 1990 NBA draft, in his first ever preseason game, Payton says he talked trash to Michael Jordan while MJ was resting on the bench. This is just after he got drafted. This is like a rookie right now talking trash to LeBron James, pretty much, while LeBron James is resting on the bench. Payton said it was an experience, and I had to go against Michael Jordan, and had a good game. When it came to the season, Jordan remembered, and at the first tip-ball he said, "Hey, I got the young fella." He said, "Don't forget, I remembered about preseason and what you did," and then he just dropped 35 on me. I was talking real bad, and he, being Michael Jordan, doesn't really play that much in the preseason. I had like 19 points and he was still on the bench, but I was still talking trash anyway. Lesson learnt by Payton here. Number 1, don't talk trash to Jordan, especially when he's on the bench. Number 2, Jordan just seems to remember everything. I mean, I guess you just can't finesse a finesser. Number 5. Gary Payton says to Jamie Fick, "Man, you won't even be in the league next year." From a 1999 ESPN magazine interview with Dan Patrick, Payton revealed what he might be considered normal trash talk from him caught Jamie Fick off guard and actually hurt his feelings. During an interview, Dan Patrick said to Payton, "Is there somebody that has no business talking trash?" Payton responded saying, "Jamie Fick. He said something to me. I said, man, you won't even be in the league next year." And then Scott Burrell came over and said, "I hurt Fick's feelings." That is just savage if you ask me. I mean, when you think about it, it is literally his job and life. In other words, it's like saying that he might lose his job after the season. Which, I mean, is both funny because it's trash talk, but completely savage at the same time. And it's literally what Gary Payton would say. Number 4, and this is one of my favorite stories. Gary Payton goes at Scottie Pippen. This one came from former NBA point guard Damian Stoudemire via the Players Tribune. He played with Scottie Pippen in Portland after Pippen had pretty much ended his career. I mean, this was his last stint in the NBA, and his whole career had practically been summed up already. I mean, he played with Jordan, won 6 championships, so I guess you could say Scottie was just ending up his career, and he was playing in Portland. But Gary Payton didn't care. Stoudemire said, he'll go at anyone. He'll go at Scottie Pippen. One time you'll be playing Gary in Portland, and he'll be in Pippen's ear. He said, you ain't nothing anymore, Scottie. Where's Mike at? Where's Mike at? I ain't scared of you now, Scottie. Mind you, Scottie will have 6 NBA titles at this point. Gary will have none, but he won't care. He goes, hey Scottie, you know what, man? You ain't even 50 all time. You want me to show you on my list? I had you 51, Scottie. I had you 51. I had Dominique ahead of you, Scottie. You're 51, Scottie. This is the level of trash talk you're up against now. Don't even open your mouth. If Gary Payton is going to talk to Scottie Pippen like that, he'll send you to therapy if you're a regular NBA player. This is probably my favorite out of all of them, just because he said he put Scottie at the 51st best player in the league and not top 50. I don't know, that part just cracked me up, but yeah, that is definitely my favorite Gary Payton trash talking story. Number 3, I will kill your family. This is what Gary Payton said to Ricky Pierce. Now, this is perhaps the one instance that went way too far. Now, I just went from talking about my favorite Gary Payton trash talking story, and this is probably my least favorite, but it is the most interesting, and I guess I had to put it in here, because this is an instance where he went way too far. In Game 1 of the 1994 NBA playoffs, the Sonics opened up against Denver with expectations of rolling into the finals. Of course, we all know what happened there, with the famous image of Dikembe Mutombo holding the ball as they beat Seattle in the series. Yeah, you know that series. If you don't, pretty much Denver beat Seattle, and Seattle was the 1st seed, Denver was the 8th seed, and they lost. But one subplot was the verbal battle between Gary Payton and Ricky Pierce, and the way they got into it. According to then Sonics head coach George Karl, he said, 3 years ago, I didn't see the first outbreak, but he and Ricky Pierce got into some kind of discussion at halftime of the first Denver game, and they were threatening to get guns, Karl said, of the altercation. The players told me they had guns in their bags. It was, I'll kill your family. It was crazy. Now, this story sort of sounds fake, but after what happens with Gilbert Arenas and what happened with the whole gun incident there, I mean, I believe this story, so that is crazy. And George Karl, he always seems to be in the middle of something. But this altercation where Gary Payton said, I'll kill your family, as they have guns in their bags at halftime? Yeah, that is some Gilbert Arenas crap right there. That's crazy. Number 2, Jason Kidd talked trash to Gary Payton and it completely backfired. Now, I'll actually let Jason Kidd tell you guys the story because he once talked about this in an interview. So I'll let you guys hear the story and I'll let my thoughts after.
I'll never forget this. We're playing in Tacoma. This is, I'm in the NBA, and I'm playing for Dallas. I'm a rookie playing against Gary, and so we always, looked at each other, always said hi. But once we got, after the tip ball, we were, going at one another. And I'll never forget, he's posting me up, and I pretty much kind of know what he likes to do. So he went into his move, and I blocked it. And I told him, get that stuff out of here. But I didn't say stuff, and he looked back at me, and that was a big mistake. He went on like a 15-0 personal run, and then we ended up losing the game. So I went after the game and I said, "Hey, look, my bad. I had a mental block. I forgot who I was playing. I didn't mean to say that to you." He said, "Oh no, you woke me up, and that definitely helped me." But I said, "Don't worry about it. It'll never happen again."
So I guess, yeah, Jason Kidd pretty much got the Gary Payton treatment. When I talked about how Gary Payton trash talked Jordan, and obviously that didn't work out for Gary Payton as a rookie. Yeah, well, Jason Kidd talked Payton as a rookie, and that completely backfired because, yeah, Gary Payton went on a 15-0 personal run, and they lost the game. Yeah, Jason Kidd learned a lesson, and that was don't talk to Gary Payton. And number 1, this is probably, I know I said the Scottie Pippen story was my favorite. This is tied favorite because this is just funny. Number 1, Gary Payton used to trash talk the air. Yeah, you heard me correctly. the air. Writing for Sports Illustrated, Phil, and just as a bonus because I found this one extremely funny, Gary Payton said to Cindy Lowe, "Sit down, you Smurf." In one of his most infamous trash-talking episodes, "Sit down, you Smurf" was what he said one day to Cindy Lowe, the former Minnesota Timberwolves coach. The fact that he says "sit down, you Smurf" to a grown man just cracks me up every time. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about Gary Payton and the 7 trash-talking stories. If we could aim for 3,000 likes, and if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. I make videos about trash-talking. I make videos about NBA stories. I make videos about the NBA in general, trades that happen, free agent talk, the current NBA. I'm gonna make a really good video coming up soon about the future of the NBA and like my prediction on how the NBA will look in like the year 2020. So that would be awesome. Hopefully you guys can't wait for that. So if you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. Let's try and aim for 3,000 likes, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace!